The recent ruling by a Surinamese court to hold the theft of 500,000 hectares of rainforest belonging to Maroon and indigenous groups offers a glimmer of hope, a momentary reprieve in a long battle against a relentless tide of exploitation. This landmark decision comes on the heels of an injunction filed by 12 Maroon and indigenous groups, desperate to protect their ancestral lands from the encroachment of agricultural development. The forest, spanning approximately 535,000 hectares, that is over 1.3 million acres, was set to be dished out to Mennonite settlers. It was a plan that threatened not just the rainforest, but the very existence of these communities who are wholly dependent on it. For the Maroons and indigenous peoples, this land is sacred. It is where their ancestors are buried, where they hunt, where they gather medicinal plants, and where they pass on their traditions to the next generation. The thought of losing these lands to outsiders is a wound that cuts deep, reopening scars of a past when their ancestors were forcibly removed from their homes, enslaved and oppressed. This battle isn't over, but this is a good first step, said John Gottschalk, head of Climate Change Advocacy Services. His words, though cautiously optimistic, carried the weight of years of struggle. The court's ruling acknowledges, for the first time in Suriname's history, the importance of free, prior, and informed consent. It recognizes that the government cannot simply hand over land without engaging with the people who have lived on and cared for it for generations. But even with this victory, the road ahead is fraught with uncertainty. In the village of Cass Creek, a Maroon community located south of the capital, Paramaribo, tensions are high. The arrival of these Mennonite settlers looms over the village like a dark cloud. The Mennonites, a closed and insular white missionary community with a history of unregulated deforestation in other parts of Latin America, have been granted permission by the government to settle in Suriname. The colonists came seeking land to cultivate, but to the Maroons and indigenous peoples, they represent another chapter in the long history of land theft and cultural extinction. We don't want the Mennonites here. They will have to kill us to take over our land, dared Swingley Strider, a village chief of Cass Creek. His words echo the fear and anger felt by many in his community. They know that the arrival of these white settlers could spell disaster for their way of life. The Mennonites' large-scale agricultural practices often involve modern machinery, agrochemicals, and genetically modified seeds are at odds with the sustainable organic farming that the Maroons and indigenous peoples have practiced for centuries. The government, eager to develop Suriname as the breadbasket of the Caribbean, seems blind to the consequences. The lush green forests that have earned Suriname the title of the greenest country in the world are under threat. The Mennonites' arrival, along with ongoing illegal logging and mining activities, could push Suriname over the edge, stripping it of its status as a net negative carbon sink. That is, a country whose forests are helping clean up our planet's polluted air. For the Saramacca people, one of the 6 Maroon tribes of Suriname, the threat is all too real. A new study using geospatial technology has revealed the shocking extent of forest damage in Saramacca territory due to illegal logging and mining concessions granted by the government. over 60,000 hectares of forest, roughly the size of Singapore, have already been lost, and the devastation continues. These lands, which the Samak have protected for generations, are being destroyed for short-term profit, while the government turns a blind eye to the court rulings that mandate the protection of maroon and indigenous territories. The Samaka and other communities are not just fighting for their land, they are fighting for their survival. The forest provides them with food, medicine, and materials for shelter. It is a place of spiritual significance where they connect with their ancestors and perform rituals that have been passed down through generations. The destruction of the forest is not just an environmental catastrophe, it is a cultural and spiritual death. As the Mennonite settlers prepare to move into Suriname, the communities of Klaas Creek and Wittegron are caught in a painful limbo. They are forced to decide whether to accept the settlers and the promises of development they bring, or to stand firm and resist, knowing that their refusal could lead to more conflict and uncertainty. We are not against agriculture, but there are other ways to do it, said Rudy van Kanten of Trobbenbos, Suriname, echoing the sentiment of many conservationists and local leaders. But these alternatives, rooted in sustainable practices and respect for the land, are often ignored in favor of quick, destructive solutions. The ruling by the Surinamese court offers a flicker of hope, a chance for the indigenous and maroon communities to reclaim their voice and their land. But the struggle is far from over. The forest, with all its beauty and bounty, stands as a silent witness to their pain and resilience. It is up to the world to listen to their cry, to stand with them in their fight, and to ensure that the land, once taken, is finally returned to its rightful guardians. Thank you for watching, viewers. I really genuinely appreciate it. Please leave your comments below and don't forget to like, subscribe, and to share. Thank you.